Alrighty. What's going on, gang? YouTube gang. Hold on. I'm bugging out. Let me get into rare form. Hold on. Let me get into rare form because y'all got me. Y'all think it's a game. Hey, yo, YouTube IG, what's cracking? All right. Happy Venus Day, y'all. I hope everybody enjoyed their Venus Day. I hope everybody enjoyed their start to the weekend. I hope everybody has had a lovely week. All right. I hope everybody has had a lovely week, period, y'all. All right. It's 9:30, so we up in that Sabbath energy right now. All right. We up in that Saturn energy. Give thanks to the gods that created this realm. Stop playing. All right. We got the Cosmic Academy in the building. Y'all make sure y'all tap into the Cosmic Academy. All right. That is a powerful being right there, man. Y'all go tap in with the queen. Aqua Marie, Candy, Rod LaBoy, Myra. What's going on, Myra? ASBW. All right, we got it. Okay, Tiff T. What's going on, Tiff T? All right, Phoenix K to Go 87. Forever Love My Fam. Well, you got some Cancer energy. You got some fourth house energy with that name. I know you do. At least a node or a asteroid or something. She Marie 1980, Shantae 523, Kim 17225. All right. I never discussed any of my past life stuff. All right, everybody get into a little bit of it right now. All right, that's kind of what I've been called to hover over this week overall. I kind of been talking about past life energies all week. All right, Uyo Kiro. All right, we in the building. Get that mic, baby. You already know the vibes, man. We got to project out here, man. There's a lot of shit being projected on us. So we got to use the tools we got to use to spread our good word. All right? A brother been fruit fasting these past 2 days. Only been eating apples. You feel me? I'm trying to align with this season shit we about to go through. You feel me? We about to enter that spring season. So our bodies and all that, like diets, you gotta get your diet aligned. Prepare that vessel to get more out in that sun. You're dealing with a new sun. It's the spring season. When it's spring season, don't think the sun we looking at is the same sun from last spring. Y'all gotta understand that. Don't think the sun we looking at this upcoming spring is the same solar, the same being you was looking at last spring. All right? It's just like when you turn 22, turn 23. It's just like when you level up. When you experience new ages and chapters in your life, the sun done gained some wisdom. It done completed another solar cycle. So when it comes to us that's been in this realm under that sun, we have a new sense of wisdom when it comes to how we want to express ourselves, how we like to be seen, when it comes to our consciousness, when it comes to our awareness, when it comes to all sun-like things. These are things we feel an upgrade with, a level up with. So get your vessels together, y'all. Get your vessels together. You know, learn to take better care of yourself. A lot of us are not taking as good as care of ourselves as we should be. All right. And that just leaves holes in our aura and shit for other entities to start fucking with us some more. Dark entities and shit, motherfuckers that want to use your energy, they get attracted to you when they see you don't give a fuck. How you gonna go manipulate somebody else's energies and they on top of their shit? How you gonna manipulate somebody else's energies and they very conscious about what type of energetic environment they're in, the relationships they deal with. It ain't gonna be so easy to just manipulate that person's emotions. All right. So we gotta protect our energies and our auras a little bit more. All right, gang. Now, right, Tiff T. So I just want to get into some current vibes. I just want to get into some current energies, and then right, I am Jasmine Danielle. Right, call you sunlight because you shine like one. That's a physac. I just want to dive into some current vibes for the weekend. I made a little brief post earlier. I just want to dive into them energies a little bit more and finish up a little bit of these past life indications in the natal chart to help y'all understand who y'all are, to help y'all remember who y'all are. That's the thing. None of us, that's really what it comes down to, memory. When we're transitioning from realm to realm, universe to universe and shit, a lot of our memory gets wiped a lot of the time. And you know, when it comes to us trying to transcend to a higher plane from this third dimension, from this physical realm, a lot of that is gonna have to deal with how much we can remember. This is why solitude, building a relationship with solitude, meditation, this is why these things are very important. Detachment. This is why you're not really going to see somebody on a quote-unquote spiritual journey not embracing these themes. You have to. You know, spirit isn't connected to none of this shit in this physical realm. So we can't be correlating any of this shit to spirituality. You need to get as close as possible to just being you, just being your being. And then when I'm saying your being, I'm not saying Boro the lucky Libra. I'm not saying this black ass nigga with glasses and 2-strand twists. I'm talking about that breath that's inside this vessel, that life, that breath, that's a life, that's a heat, that's an energy that's making your body function, period. All right? That's what we got to learn. Who's that breath? Where did that breath come from? What has that breath experienced in the past life? Okay? So that's basically what I'm talking about when I'm talking about past life energies. Okay? Everybody can't do shit without that goddamn breath in it. Now, guys, y'all can jump on YouTube if y'all like to see the display of the energies. All right. So when we look at let me go ahead and share my energies with y'all. Let me share my energies with y'all. Let's get these energies up on the okay, so we got the moon in Cancer, y'all. We got the moon in Cancer. We have a full moon approaching, all right? Full moon is 2 signs away. We got a full moon in Virgo, all right? So the moon is in Cancer right now. We're gonna deal with that moon in Leo transit to start the week. The moon gonna get into Leo in the evening, around Sunday evening, and then we jumping into full moon energy. Now, we already 2 signs away, so we already picking up on heavy, high emotion. And y'all already know the vibes when we're dealing with a moon that's about to be full and it's passing Cancer, all right? It's heavy energy. It's heavy energy, all right? Especially when it comes to the emotions, when it comes to loved ones, when it comes to people placing in things you care about, when it comes to the family and home environment. You could deal with a lot of frustrations trying to connect to your privacy and build a relationship with your solitude, and other people trying to distract you from that, again, in the way of blowing up your phone, relatives, siblings, your partner. That shit could all get annoying right now, because what's high priority is finding that comfort zone. And when we talk about comfort zone, it's finding some sense of peace within your goddamn inner thoughts and emotions. That's what the moon is trying to do every time it's in Cancer. All right. I don't care what you've been experiencing this whole week. I'm in Cancer now. So it's time for us to understand how we feeling about things. It's time for us to understand what's heavy on the heart chakra. It's time for us to understand what we could do to filter out energy so our heart could be a little lighter. The heart space could be lighter, not so much shit heavy on the emotional state. It's time to understand what we may have buried a little bit. You know, certain things dealing with the emotions that we didn't really confront because we knew it could make us feel away. But now the moon is in Cancer. We don't, nothing, no emotion hides. No emotion can be that much hidden when the moon is in Cancer, as far as us, as far as looking in the mirror individually. So, the moon in Cancer wants to take care of our emotional well-being. All right. It wants to cleanse that space. So this is why, we got the sun in Pisces too. So we got these double water influences, and it's like I said, we may have some double water influence people in the chat. We may have some people that got the sun in water, moon in water. Now, intuition be crazy as a motherfucker, creative as hell, most likely empathic, especially if it has a Cancer alignment in it. Most likely picking up heavy energies from other individuals that it possibly can be overwhelming, or they can have healing properties where they're able to absorb certain energies, because water absorbs. water consumes, right? Leave a cup of water somewhere, you come back, there's gonna be little particles in it, this, that, and the third. Water consumes and absorbs. So water signs, especially double water signs, need to be conscious about what's in their environment, what they're absorbing, what they're consuming. Because sometimes if you a double water, just being a water sign, sometimes you this is not even Cancer shit. This is Pisces and Scorpio shit too. Sometimes you could just be having you a water sign and you in a certain mood about something. Maybe the moon, where the moon is at that day, is hitting you a certain way, but you could be feeling a way about something, and that really just came that mood, that shift within your feelings, emotions could really be developed because you allowed yourself to absorb or consume something in a certain environment, in a certain relationship, in the workplace. You consume something and you brought it home with you. So water signs, y'all gotta understand this, and this is why water signs can manifest a lot of emotional dependence in their life, especially the water moon signs, especially the water moon signs. I'm irritated as hell because I don't like red apples. I like green apples. No, the spot I go to, they have no green apples. I like my Granny Smith Johns. These red Johns don't be busting like that, but it is what it is. You feel me? But yeah, water signs, that's what y'all got to understand, man. That's what y'all got to understand. Especially you water moons. People get around that energy. They feel that harmony. They feel that, damn, this is a real gentle vibe. Damn, when I express and communicate, this vibe receives. I feel so understood. Now and some people start overdoing how they lean on that energy. Some people start draining a water sign energy like a mother. You gotta be careful of that shit. You got to be careful of that shit. You got a lot of water places, your sun, moon, and water. What about Pisces sun and fire for moon and rising? Okay, so, your moon, for the most part, it's dealing with expressing itself. Fire moons have to express themselves. The moon is your needs. There's certain things we may, push to the back burner with our soulful connection. What's going on, baby? All right, green apple tastes horrible to me. Oh, no, I can't fuck with you on that one. I don't know. Green apples, those is my ish. Those is my ish right there. You got the red. Fact, this joint is all right. It's all right right now. It's all right. But however, we got to get the nutrition in the system. However, we got to get it in there. So, but fire moons, the moon is your needs, y'all. So whatever your sun might be able to push some shit to the side that it wants, and when it don't get it, maybe it'll push that shit to the side. But the moon, we start acting a fool when we don't get our needs with the moon. We don't want to talk to nobody. We be depressed. We might start projecting. We might start projecting on others. The moon is your needs. What make you feel comfortable. It's who you truly are. It's your understanding. When we talk about comfortable, comfort zone, if everybody's moon sign has certain things they connect to make them feel comfortable. And when we're not connecting to that thing, we will take far measures to get that shit back in our life. Understand that. So if you a fire moon, expression is something that's a need for you. Don't be you dating a fire moon and you telling them they need to learn to keep things to themselves. They always got to put things out in the open. They're a fire moon. You don't want to see who that person is if they actually end up holding all that shit in. That's what you don't want to see. You don't want a fire water moon. I mean, water moons do a little better holding in because, like I said, they absorb, they consume. That's their natural nature. So they could kind of sit on their emotions a little longer, especially water moons. They kind of like to swim in their own emotions. Water signs could be hurt about something. They could be feeling pain with something, but it's like a part of them might kind of want to swim through it, kind of want to feel it. Fire, now fire in the moon and the rising. This is the personality. You got fire in the first house, so your personality gonna be real expressive. You feel me? Personality gonna be real expressive. Then when it comes to your moon got that high temperament of the fire energy. So your moon, your emotions, you're gonna be emotionally connected to your visions. You're gonna be emotionally connected to how you see things, how you see yourself expressing things, and these are things that are hard to hold back. So when we channel all of that energy to your sun in Pisces, your sun in Pisces can have a very passionate way of delivering its energy. All right. The sun in Pisces is still gonna, is gonna use its constellation to do what it does. Sun in Pisces is gonna connect with others. It's gonna, it's gonna see things from an understanding point of view. It's gonna see things from a collective point of view. It's gonna have a spiritual outlook on things. It's gonna have a philosophical outlook on things. Maybe a little delusional, very imaginative though. All right. Now, you just got a bunch of fire energy under that. So you may be real impulsive with your dreams. You may be real impulsive with your imagination. You may be real impulsive with your forms of expression. You may be very excited and feel uplifted and positive and giddy when you're around other creatives. All right. Especially if they know how to fuel your fire, especially if they know how to throw energy to your fire, because fire signs like the gas. Fire signs like the gas. This is why fire and air signs be getting along, because air signs we be gassing fire signs. Fire signs be having these big imaginations and dreams, and we just be mad relatable. Like, yo, word, this, that, and the third. You should throw this on there. But boom, we add some more logic in there. We have more ideas in there. Fire signs love that shit. Fire signs start loving that shit, being around the air sign, getting all the ideas, the communicating about the idea and the vision they got. You feel me? So that's how that plays out. You having a fire moon being a Pisces sun. You feel me? But who asked that question? Okay. So shout out to all my Leo moons, man. Shout out to all my Leo moons. All right. Leo moons, man, that y'all are some very jovial individuals. It's hard to get y'all down about something. It's easy for y'all to see the positive things. It's easy for y'all to rely on optimistic. Leo is one of the more optimistic signs in the zodiac. You're very welcome. Yeah. So, so that's what we got going on right now, guys. We got this, the moon in Cancer. We want to just take this weekend. The shit is about to be full 2 signs from now. So this is easy to spaz on somebody when you're feeling frustrated with the emotions. It's easy to have your space feel, it's easy to feel claustrophobic right now. It's easy because when you have all this water energy that's pushing us to connect to privacy and solitude, one little thing that finds its way into your space, into your sanctuary, into your private space, that's going to feel like it's fucking everything up. So it's easy to feel claustrophobic. It's easy to feel like, you have to work so hard to get into your solitude, depending on your environment or whatnot. Right. So just do your best. Make sure, once again, don't project on nobody. This is a very creative alignment, because as y'all can see, we have the moon over here at 9 degrees, but we got Mercury 3 degrees Pisces, Jupiter 16 degrees Pisces, the sun 21 degrees Pisces, Neptune 22 degrees Pisces. So throughout the moon's transit this weekend, it will be making contact with all of these placements. This morning, the moon was making contact with Mercury. It's actually still making contact with Mercury right now. Y'all know I like to look at energy from a 7-degree radius. So Mercury is 3 degrees in Pisces. Cancer, the moon in Cancer is 9 degrees. So that's a 6-degree radius right there. And this whole day, we may have found ourselves trying to understand our thoughts. We may have been really in our head today. When the moon and Mercury harmonize with each other, the moon, anything that the moon is making contact with, guys, whether it's through a transit or in your personal natal chart, these are things that you're always trying to gain an understanding of. All right. Whether it's a trine, whether it's a sextile, even if it's a alignment with friction, if it's a square, if it's an opposition, if the moon is making contact with it, the moon is trying to understand it, right? The moon is trying to nurture it, and the moon is trying to react to it. Neek the God, what's going on, Neek? So, this alignment came together in the morning. All right, so early this morning, it was easy to be in the head about certain things, especially in the house that you have Pisces in, right? The house that you have Pisces in and the house that you have Cancer in may have been really overthinking things this morning. It may have been certain things you was trying to plan the whole world away this morning. You like, God damn, probably by the time you got into the afternoon or probably by the time you got out of work or the early evening, you was like, damn, I got to take things one day at a time. You know why? Because Mercury is fast. Mercury is fast. So when Mercury makes contact with planets, it could gas them up to start doing things quicker, faster. So that's another thing to look for in your chart. If the planets that you got making contact with Mercury, sometimes Mercury be speeding their ass up. Now that's actually more so with conjunctions, though. That's actually more so with conjunctions. All right. I don't know, y'all. I ain't feeling these red Jones. I don't know, man. I'm trying. I'm going to have to hit the market tomorrow, man. If they don't got the green Johns, I ain't really feeling the red right now. I ain't gonna keep it a buck with y'all. So, that's what we experienced with motherfucking Moon trine in Mercury this morning. It also helped us to bring a lot of understanding to things that have been heavy on our mind. Today, we may have manifested some more understanding or clarity about how we're going to deal with a creative project, a creative endeavor, more clarity on how to apply ourselves with things that we already have wisdom about. You know, Pisces is dealing with that spiritual influence, right? Dealing with our wisdom, dealing with our intuition. Cancer has a strong spiritual influence too. Don't get it twisted. Cancer got a Jupiter influence. There's a lot of teachers out here that are Cancers. There's a lot of astrologers and healers and that are Cancers. If Cancers might be the number one healers in the world, real talk. You feel me? That's why we got to hold Cancers down. That's why we got to make sure we got to protect Cancers out here, because they really like the little babies of the earth, really, but they like heal though. So like they the baby moons of the earth. So like we got to just make sure Cancers is good. That's what I'm saying. Like we got to make sure Cancers is good, because you really don't know. We really don't know. Is with great power come great responsibility. We don't know the emotional shifts they deal with inside. I'm a moon and earth person. So I'm not the biggest emotional person, all right? And I have a lot of Scorpio energy, so even when it comes to the emotions, I can bury them a lot, I can neglect them a lot, and they may pop out later in a real unproductive, counterproductive way. But for the most part, that's how I deal with the motherfuckers. Cancers, they wish they could do that. They wish they could do what the fuck I could do with their emotions, and they can't. You know, is that they got that much of a connection to the subconscious, to your subconscious, not just theirs. Oh, they reading your ass too, even when they don't want to read your ass. You know, so Cancer energy ain't no joke. Cancer energy is not no joke. If people have moon journals, if you have moon journals and if you write down what you experience every sun season, because the moon is gonna touch every sign once every sun season, right? The moon stays in the sign for 2.5 days. All right, we got 12 signs. A sun season is 30 days. What's 12 times 2.5? That's 30. So the moon is going to be in every sign once the whole sun season. This is how y'all calculate y'all lucky days. So as we're going into Aries season, y'all need to say you're a Cancer moon, right? Say you're a Cancer moon. You need to look at the transits. Pull up the transits for go on any astrology website, right? Go on the calculator, all right? Just like everybody on YouTube watching me here, this shit right here, this astro theme, day and place, you feel me? And all you gotta do, you go to the next day. I mean, look at all the transits that for Aries season, and let's say you're a Cancer moon. Look when the moon gonna be in Scorpio. Lucky day. Those gonna be some lucky days. Look when the moon gonna be in Pisces. Those gonna be some lucky days. That season. Look when the moon gonna be in Taurus. That is a sextile. These are lucky days. Look when the moon is gonna be in Virgo. That's a sextile. These are lucky days. All right. So I like to say the trines and sextiles of the month to your moon. These are gonna, or to your sun too. To your sun too. For real. You know, I like to look at it based off my moon and my sun. But this is vice versa. So if you're a Cancer moon, Cancer sun, and you see, okay, moon gonna be in Capricorn this weekend. Matter of fact, I was gonna plan to have that party that weekend, but I ain't trying to throw that shit when the moon is in my opposite energies. I'm trying to be me at the party. I ain't trying to be me at the party. Everybody act like there's a problem with being me that day because the moon in Capricorn. So it's shit like that. But this is how you ultimately look at lucky days for the most part. You know, look at them dates during the month where them signs is going to be in the element of your sun, the element of your moon. They're going to be sextiling or trining your moon or sun, all right? But yeah, back to the transit. So we got that moon energy is going to be harmonizing with all these Pisces, all these placements in Pisces over the weekend. They're already harmonized with Mercury. It's harmonizing with Mercury now. So this is why you want to be in solitude, because you already overthinking. You're already trying to connect to your own inner thoughts. You're trying to understand your own thoughts and why you think the way you think with the moon making contact with Mercury. It's hard to do that shit if you're around so much individuals or you got a lot going on. All right. You will find yourself trying to react to a lot of things in the house that you have Pisces in. Be careful how you do that. When the moon is making harmonious contact with something, it feels like it has direct access to things. So just because you can act on something, react to something, doesn't necessarily mean you have to. Maybe you could just sit back and continue to understand, process the situation right now. But, you know, that moon making contact with Mercury will put us in a state where, you know, we might look a little deep into what people communicate to us or whatnot, or we just looking a little too deep into things with our thoughts. Overall, it's a harmonious placement. So it brings understanding when we're dealing with conversation. This actually is a good alignment. Like I am encouraging you guys to, you know, embrace solitude and whatnot over the weekend, just because it's a moon in Cancer. It's a full moon coming up, right? We need to be able to feel things out right now. But with the moon harmonizing with Pisces, with a Mercury in Pisces, this is a type of energy that can bring a lot of solutions through conversation. I'm not gonna lie, because the moon brings understanding and nurture into the situation, right? It brings that receiving feminine energy into the situation. Mercury rules conversation. So if us diving into any form of conversation, it's surrounded by that moon. It's making contact with the moon and it's giving off Pisces energy. Pisces already got a feel of dealing with compassion, right? And understanding. That's why a lot of people have been able to mend things this season so far. You've been able to mend things. You've been able to find closure conversations, or if there's been gaps in conversations and communication with other individuals, you've been able to fill that gap a lot. Things have been able to come to an end in a peaceful, understanding, respectful way. So it ain't like we breaking up because I fucking can't stand you, I cheated on you, this, that, and the third. We breaking up because it's like your heart, mind is in this place. We went through these experiences. We understood this was an experience. I care for you, you care for me, and we both understand that. And we're not gonna be so prideful and motherfucking ignorant, so prideful and egotistical to act like we don't love each other. But it is what it is. We got to go on. We got to experience different things. You know how to holler at me if you really need something. Bada bing, bada boom. Pisces energy, y'all. At the same time, Pisces energy, we got Bel Papillon in the building. Bel Papillon. At the same time, though, you know, this weekend will be the weekend where you can release a whole bunch of shit on somebody at the same time, though. So that's the thing, y'all. We can't never look at one placement like it's one linear way of looking at. Ain't nothing in this realm just flat like that. If you give me something, I could show you another aspect to it. If you put something in the light, there was a dark aspect to it before. So there's always going to be, you know, a dual way of looking at a placement. Okay, so we could project on the motherfucker like crazy this weekend too with all this goddamn water. You don't because you may lack understanding of how to deal with your own emotions, and now something frustrates you this weekend. You just let all that shit out on your partner. Your partner looking at you like, yeah, this motherfucker had a long week at work, because it ain't no way just because I didn't fucking make up the bed this morning, this motherfucker talk about don't know if they could be in this relationship no more. Baby, what happened out? Sit your ass down. What happened at work? See, that's why I like this moon making contact with these Pisces energies, dealing with compassion, understanding. Because when you start tripping or your partner start tripping, we got some energies where we could tap into some understanding. It's like, all right, we ain't gonna condemn you. We ain't gonna look at you like you bugging. We ain't gonna get on the phone with the homie and be like, just tripping, yo, blah, blah, blah. We ain't gonna do all that. We're gonna be like, yo, baby, what's going on right now? What's going on right now? You directing your energy in the wrong place. I'm supposed to be your safe space. You know, it's the end of the weekend. We're supposed to have a nice, lovely weekend, this and that there. I took off this weekend so we could spend more time. You told me catching some negative vibes. I know it ain't really anything that's going on here. So what's going on? What's going on in the workplace? You good? Let's look at your neighbor chart. Let's see what house you got Pisces in again. Oh, you got Pisces in your third house. So what is it? Your neighbors, that situation with your neighbors again, right? Or with the beef with your siblings, right? That's how we gonna get to it. That Pisces energy gonna help understand, gonna help connect. Pisces energy make you feel somebody else's pain. When you feel somebody else's pain, you run out to help. All right. You don't start projecting and all that. So like these are the type of shit we dealing with this weekend. All right, y'all. Yeah, and we all spiritually inclined here. If you are watching me right now, YouTube or IG, I expect you to be able to have the ability to do that. If you're watching this right now, I expect y'all to have the ability to step out your body, process your own emotions and what you're going on in the physical reality. All of y'all know this is an experience. All of y'all know you a spirit in this motherfucker. So for every time you deal with a hard trials and tribulations, crazy circumstances in your life, y'all gotta be able to step out the body and be like, God damn, I done created some bullshit. But all right, how did we get here? What am I supposed to be learning through this experience? You know, is this a first occurrence? No, it's not a first occurrence. This is my fourth time fucking up with this. All right, this is something we have to take care of because it's only going to keep reoccurring. Anything in your life that reoccurs, that isn't a pattern, it's going to keep reoccurring until you understand how to deal with that shit. We all need an adversary. Don't matter if you're a peasant. Don't matter if you're a king, you're a god or a goddess. We all need an adversary. We all need something to go against us. Every hero needs a motherfucking villain to go against. Why? Because that villain is going to bring out your true power. That villain is going to help you understand who the fuck you is. You feel me? With no adversary, how do you know self? How do you ever get pushed to circumstances where your back is against the wall and you have to dig deep within to see what you're made of? This is why we all here in the first place. This is why we all here in the first place. You feel me? Ain't nobody really here, new spirits. Ain't nobody here right now really experiencing Earth for the first time. Either you've been reincarnated or you ain't been here in a while and you came here to handle some business. And we in some pivotal times right now. So there's a lot of spiritual families that's here to change shit right now. A lot of indigo children then came around the 70s and the 80s. A lot of your parents is indigo children and shit. You feel me? A lot of your aunties and uncles is some motherfucking indigos. You feel me? You was born in them late 80s, early 90s. You most likely a crystal child. If you don't fuck with government and you know systematic oppression and shit, yeah, you a whole crystal child and you here to change shit up with the way you shine your light, with the way you shine, you circulate or express your consciousness. You circulate your knowledge and wisdom about spirituality. Yeah, you might be the black sheep in the family. Yes, it is what it is. And you know you manifested these type of families as if you from these type of lineages, especially when you know you got that one family member, that one grandparent, that one family friend that was able to wake you up at a young age or in some point in your life. Your whole family could be in the matrix or whatever, but if you got that one family member, that one parent, that one sibling that woke your ass up, then you know what you're here to be doing. Because we pick families where we able to have something in the environment to wake us up, to remind us who we are, remind us we're gods and goddesses, remind us that, you know, we fell. We didn't climb up to come here. We fell from somewhere. You feel me? We fell. So if you fell, you came from somewhere higher. So it don't matter what they say in your body, even in your religious books, they have no way to explain certain shit but the fallen ones. Who you think the fallen ones are? You are the fallen one. You are the chosen one. All right? But as y'all can see, we dealing with a lot of shit in society today that's going against that. You think the powers that be, don't know that, you feel me? Don't know that our spiritual ancestors is making their way back to this realm right now? Like, you think they don't know that there's messiahs being born every other day? You think they don't know they can't stop the community spreading this astrology wisdom? And you think they don't know about all the healers that's doing what they doing right now? Like, they know what the fuck going on right now. So we all need to step into our powers and gifts. We all need to make sure that we not finding ways to condense our spirit in this with all these programs going on over here. These programs is weak as fuck. All these programs is weak as fuck right now. Don't nobody give a fuck about school. Don't nobody give a fuck about voting. All this shit outdated. It's all outdated. We are at a point that if you don't know your big three in astrology, we looking at you like you bugged out. We looking at you like, damn, how? You can't be that old spiritually if you don't know that. It's 2022, baby. What's good? It's 2022, baby. You don't know your moon sign, baby. All right, fuck it. I guess I got a lot of enlightening to do today. Come over here. Come into the dungeon. All right, take a deep breath. Grab some water. It's gonna be a long one. This is real shit, y'all. Y'all think I'm dead ass right now. All real shit. And I got an epiphany that, that's, I don't even like saying that word, that I got an epiphany that, the jab and all that shit ain't really aimed at us. I don't think there's really anything aimed at adults. They coming after these children. They know what children we bringing into the realm right now. They know that we are in a space where the mothers of today, the fathers of today, we have a different access to information, bringing new spirits into this realm. So we out here putting our babies on certain diets. We out here doing things to keep our children connected to the subconscious and to source. We not throwing distractions on our children. We doing what we can to curate their gifts and talents. A lot of children today are not dealing with the shit we had to deal with. Indigos, crystal children. We had to deal with some shit. A lot of us got kicked out the house. A lot of us was teenagers in arguing with our parents about Jesus and shit. We had to go through the fire, a lot of us. A lot of us still are looked at as like the motherfucking devil of the family. So we had to go through some sacrifices to even lay the groundwork down to be the parents, to be the adults today, that's able to make sure the children of today, they got what the fuck they need coming into this realm, because they about to get busy. I don't know if y'all realize there's more commercials about vaccinating children. It's way more of them shits than adults nowadays. They trying to get up in them schools. So, we got to protect the children. You got to think about all the gifts that you brought into this room and how much programs is being thrown at you. So with how much spirituality, how much access we have to spirituality, connecting the source, who we truly are, all the tools we have to remember who we truly are in today's time and age. Imagine how hard they have to go to the spirits coming in today. Imagine how hard they have to go to combat that. But there's only so much you could do when they know the prophecy. They know what's going on. So shout out to all the chosen ones. Shout out to everybody doing the work. Shout out to everybody, embracing their spiritual path. Shout out to everybody trying to learn as motherfucking much as they could learn about themselves so they could continue, you feel me? They could continue to turn into that diamond you is. I posted in my story yesterday, if you truly know who you are, you're not going to be hoping and praying. I'm going to say that shit again. Alive ass. Yo, Jazz, you stupid. I know you serious too. Talking about alive ass, not dead ass. That's a fact, though. That's a fact. But if you knew who the fuck you was, you wouldn't be praying. You wouldn't be open. Y'all be talking to your ancestors like, you need to talk to your ancestors like they the homies. You need to talk to your ancestors like they your siblings. That's your family. Some of your ancestors need your help more than you need their help. So a lot of your ancestors is waiting for you to get busy. It's like, shit, I'm not really in a position to help your ass right now. I'm fucked up. I went through some shit in the earth realm. I didn't really transition to a really nice place. It's a little dark over here. All right, I'm a little lost. Right now. Spirits get lost all the time. Not all of our ancestors is in a holy heavenly state and we could just access them and get light and downloads. Nah, some of them need our help. Some of them are not in the best of states. our spiritual lineage can make progress just based off of what you do, just based off of what you do, just based off how much you expand spiritually, just based off of how much you experience, how much you learn. All right? That shit very important to understand. We are here to create, and we here to remember. You can't remember shit if you out here being idle. You know, don't shit come to an idle man. You know, that's real talk. That's real talk. Just because you transition out this state don't mean you automatically go into a heavenly state. It depends on where your frequency vibration is at. It depends on how much you remember. It depends on when you get into the astral realm, you realize you in the astral realm again. You're not so connected to earth energies to the point you can't even process you in the astral realm. Your subconscious is that wacky now. It's like you were back in the astral realm. You think you still on earth. You still asking about earth. Your subconscious still on earth things. Now you got to know how to be in this motherfucker, but not be of it, you know? So that's what we all doing right now. That's what we're doing our best to utilize, you know, this spiritual design of our birth chart to put things together, to help that memory come together, you know, to put confirmation on things we've been experiencing with our gifts and talents, you feel me? And we have a bunch of other spiritualists out here that's helping us remember in many different ways. Whether you're doing tarot, whether you know you're doing intuitive readings, you're doing Reiki, you are helping out here. You are helping. It takes a village. So you know, I just want to continue. We are in Pisces season, y'all. So y'all know we gotta circulate spirituality as far as everybody that's out there, you know, exercising it, you know, everybody that's out there doing something for others in a spiritual sense. It's Pisces season, so we gotta inspire each other. We gotta make sure everybody good. I know this should be hard sometimes, you feel me? I know it's hard sometimes to try to be a healer, a spiritualist, an astrologer for the people, and you got shit going on in your life, and you like, God damn, like, I just want to get on this live and be good for 2 hours, but I don't know if I can get my shit. I'm too fucked up. I might not go lie to you. I'm too fucked up. But you still get up there, you still do what you do because you know you're called to do what you're being called to do what you're supposed to be doing right now. All right, y'all. So Moon and Cancer will be touching all of these Pisces energies. So understand this weekend, the more you are to yourself, the more you're going to be able to understand things about your subconscious, the more you're going to understand things about insecurities in your life and attachments. Pisces energy has a lot to do with attachments. You got a lot of Pisces energy in your chart. It's easy for you to become attached to things. There's certain alignments we could have that we could deal with becoming attached to things easily. So you got a lot of Pisces energy in the chart. A lot of 12th house energy in the chart. It's something for you to understand. So when we look at this season being dealing with conclusions and endings and us preparing for the new cycle, the new year, you have to see what you're attached to right now that you have to monitor. You have to have a better relationship monitoring, or you have to motherfucking, you know, you got to deal with that attachment some type of shape or form. Ain't nobody not able to acknowledge or bring awareness to what they attach to right now. This is a person, place, or thing. All right. So these are things I want y'all to continue to embrace during Pisces season. All right. Mutable signs, stay strong. Geminis, Virgos, Sagittarius. Y'all need to be in more of an understanding state. All right. I need to allow yourself to be more and continue to be more understanding state. Gemini, the season needs you to be more of a listener. We need you to be more of a listener. You're going to attract what you need to hear. Just make sure when it comes into your life that you're listening and you're not feeling the need to have to either reply to it, like just consume it right now. Virgos, you need to, this energy this season is teaching you how to take more leaps of faith in your life, take more risk. All right. A lot of us is dealing with that in our spiritual path. A lot of us be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. A lot of us, you know, a lot of us, we was clinging to the Jesus spirit, Christian spirit so long. We like, yeah, this astrology should sound cool, but goddamn, I know the Lord said don't fuck with this shit. But then Burrow back on live. Let me see what he's talking about. Let me see what he's talking about. Don't worry, God. I'll be back. I'll be back, God. I'll be back, Jehovah. I just wanted, they talking about Lilith and North Node, you know, that stuff intriguing. I'll be back. Better get your ass into this spirit. This is the real spiritual. This what is this? Get your ass here. Jehovah ass don't listen. Forget him. All right. Shit. I wish Jehovah Witness come to my goddamn door. I ain't see Jehovah Witness ask. Where Jehovah Witness be at? When the last time y'all seen Jehovah Witness? I'm just realizing I don't be seeing them motherfuckers. They all into astrology now. You see what's going on? Is we in a shift, y'all. Ain't no more Jehovah Witness. Them niggas is astrologers now. Watch me summon watch me just because I said that I'm gonna summon a motherfucking Jehovah Witness to my door this morning. Young man, do you know the Lord is coming back? Shit, fucking around. Offer one of them a reading, like, you know, lady, you've been doing this too long. Come in my house. Hey, look, I was just making breakfast. We got some things to talk about because Jehovah ain't cutting it, and your vessel too old to be out here walking all these blocks, knocking door to door. Is Jehovah giving you energy for this shit? Yes, he is, young man. You better believe it, young man. The faith in the Lord is the faith in me. All right, y'all, but I got a handwritten letter to most go in the mail before they've been. Okay. It's facts. That's facts. So, boom. So, that's what we're going to be dealing with this weekend. All the moon making contact with all them goddamn energies and Pisces. You feel me? It's real creative weekend. Get the writing. You know, jump into your creative endeavors this weekend. You know, you're going to catch the Holy Ghost making that song. You're going to catch the Holy Ghost painting that picture, writing some poetry. I promise you. You dive into that shit this weekend. I promise you. You feel me? Now, tomorrow, as y'all can see, the sun is 21 degrees, Neptune 22 degrees. We're going to have a perfect conjunction with the sun and Neptune. I told y'all once, listen, didn't I say a couple live streams? I said once the sun get in this portion where it's in between Jupiter and Neptune, I said it's going to be a wacky week. Why y'all think gas went up this week? What does Jupiter represent? Expansion. Where's the consciousness at? The sun is in Pisces. So, you know, smart one, government, we see you, but, you know, they're utilizing the expansion energies, you know, within their system. It is what it is. It is what it is. Feel me? But, you know, that sun in between, this energy between Jupiter and Neptune, this whole week may have brought a lot of understanding to your subconscious. This whole week may have penetrated your emotions deeply, but from a philosophical point of view. So you may have started looking at your traumas and some wounds a way more in depth this week. And attachments, all right, and the subconscious overall. And that's only going to continue this weekend. But we're having energies where, you know, this shit is being able to be channeled into something beautiful, channeled into art, channeled into a creative essence, you know, channeled into a conversation that becomes enlightening to somebody else, you know, that was lacking some awareness somewhere. So, you know, let's use these energies wisely this weekend. The moon is going to be moving into Leo on to start the week, Sunday evening. So we, right before we get into that Virgo moon energy, you know, we're going to deal with some intense energies. The moon is almost full transit in Leo. So we got an almost full moon in Leo energies. So the almost full moon is in Cancer, heavy emotions. We got to be careful how we project and protect the feelings and emotions. Then it gets into Leo. It's more full, you know. It ain't at a peak yet, but it's getting more full, and now it's in Leo. We know the moon transit in Leo is going to influence expression. So the full moon in Leo, I mean, the moon in Leo to start the week is really going to have to be like, you really going to have to be cool, calm, and collected. You really going to make sure people don't get under the skin because it can be real triggering at that point, you know, especially because Leo make you prideful. Leo be thinking in themselves, thinking in their head, like, yo, if I don't do this, everybody going to be looking at me like I'm soft here. Like Leo got that type of psyche. Start thinking about how they gonna look to everybody else and shit if they don't do something. You feel me? So don't let that shit start all type of crazy ideas to do certain shit, project certain feelings and emotions because the almost full moon is in Leo, and now you're looking at yourself hella prideful, some shit you could just let go. And y'all know what happens during full moons. A lot of people die. A lot of people die during full moons. A lot of people manifest crazy ass accidents during full moons. When emotion is that high, sometimes at full moons, people say, fuck it. I don't give a fuck how I have to release this shit. This bitch cheated on me? I don't give a fuck. I'm going to jail this weekend. And then after the full moon, you're like, damn, I really killed this bitch. I'm really going to court. I'm going to do 25 to life. Yeah, motherfucker, you should have realized it was a full moon weekend. You should have sit your ass down, making permanent ass decisions like that during the full moon. So a lot of crazy shit is going on during full moon weeks and shit. And that's the shit we not getting caught up in. I'm gonna dive into that Virgo full. We're gonna dive into that Virgo full moon, and then it's Virgo. Oh, that it's Virgo too. It's Virgo too. Shit. Have you ever seen how Virgos act when their emotions is really high? Have you ever seen that shit? Has anybody in here ever seen how Virgos act when their emotions is intense, is too intense, when they really frustrated, really angry, or stressed out about something? It ain't pretty. You know why? Because Virgos have this sense of being able to control things in their life. So when the emotions is out of whack and they feel like they can't fix it right away, oh yeah, they're gonna go crazy. They're gonna go crazy. The only way to help them feel better is to tell them, like, yo, it's okay that you can't fix this right now. It's okay. You have to feel this out. It's like, no, there's got to be a way I can fix this. There's got to be a way I can fix it. There's got to be a way I can fix the emotions right now. I'm going to find a solution. I always find a way to fix things. Now you're going to be watching the Virgo all week and going crazy trying to do some shit that they know they can't. Deep down, they know they're not about to find an answer for that shit, but their psyche got them thinking that, though. You usually have an overwhelmed, stressed out ass Virgo with them big ass eyes. Virgo's eyes be getting big as shit. I can fix it. The fuck was that? I play around too much, so. But yeah, Virgo's getting their emotions. This should be crazy. Either they're gonna fucking spaz the fuck out, or they so silent it's scary as hell. Be just silent as hell, devising the most intricate, complicated, intelligent plan to kill your ass. So I don't like getting Virgos mad, because I know whatever they're gonna do to me, ain't nobody gonna find out. If somebody gonna kill me, if somebody gonna murder me, let it be somebody where y'all gonna be able to, forensics gonna be able to tell quick. Like a Cancer or something, like an Aries. Them niggas don't give a fuck about no tack. Shoot your motherfucking brains out in broad daylight, fucking around with the Aries, fucking around with a motherfucking Cancer. What the fuck wrong with you? Cancer will beat your ass in front of the precinct. You give a fuck with the police watching. One of them niggas could get it too. What's wrong with you? How are your relationship with Virgos if you're a Cap Moon? I fuck with Earth signs heavy, period. But it make me feel comfortable. Them being steady, them being patient, them being practical, you know, them looking at things from a realistic point of view, they make me feel comfortable. They make me feel like I could vibe with them. That's why I fuck with Virgos heavy. I fuck with Capricorns heavy. I don't really know female Capricorns like that off the top of my head. You know, I got a lot of Capricorn homies, and I fuck with a lot of Taurus. I dated a lot of Taurus women. You feel me? So yeah, I fuck with that Earth energy period. But that's good. You're gonna see that with You're gonna see that with the element of your moon sign. So if your water's in fire, you're gonna gravitate towards fire signs. Your moon is in air. You're gonna gravitate towards air signs. Well, you're gonna gravitate towards them things by default. All right. So yeah, we got these moon and Pisces energies, and besides that, you know, that's what we just need to keep in mind now, you know. So water signs, earth signs, this may be a real fortunate weekend for you guys. Keep your eyes and ears out for opportunities. Hold on, yeah, blow my nose. All right. Could be a lucky weekend for a lot of my my earth water signs. Preferably Taurus, Virgos, because that's the sextile. Scorpios, Pisces, yeah. And Capricorn, it's a hit or miss, Capricorn. It's a hit or miss. It's the opposite. It's a hit or miss. If you could jump into Cancer energies, then you could find opportunities. I tell you that, Capricorn. All right. So that's going to be you now overwhelming yourself with responsibilities and what you got to work on, but you trying to understand how you could work in a way that, you know, doesn't stress the emotional well-being some more. You develop some more ways to take care of business without stressing yourself out some more and shit. You know, taking care of business in the home, working on things in the home, Capricorn. That's what you got to do this weekend. You feel me? So that's what we got going on there now. Earlier this week, I went live. I was talking about past life energy, talking about your purpose, looking at the sun in the houses that it's in the zodiac. So that's one thing. Remember, y'all, there's nothing that you could ask me how to find out in the natal chart, and it's going to be one way to do it. None of that. Never. I don't care if you're trying to find love. You're trying to get to the bag. You're trying to find spiritual, just trying to find some spiritual enlightenment. It's multiple ways to do everything. All right. And I like talking about your purpose, looking at that sun in the house. That shows a whole lot. The sun is your consciousness and your awareness. All right. So this is how the ancients used to look at it. Like I said in the TikTok I just posted earlier, back in ancient civilizations, they didn't look at the signs the way we look at the signs. They were more focused on the houses. So if you got the sun in the first house in Leo, we wasn't calling you a Leo. We like, oh, this is the first house person. So we know this person is gonna have a proud personality. We know this person is gonna be personally expressive, invested into shit from a personal individual way. We know this person is gonna have, you know, this person may be real expressive of how they personally see things. This person may have a vivid aura with how they demonstrate themselves personally, how they, you know, how they dress or whatnot, and their physical appearance. They're a sun in the first house person. We gave people in certain civilizations, we gave people, you know, when you came into this realm and we seen you had a certain gift in your chart, there was mystic schools for you to, you know, develop that gift. Whether you was a healer, you know, whatever it was. You was an astrologer. Like, we had schools for this shit, so you could come in the realm, you could develop these shits easily. You feel me? So, spirituality, astrology, all this shit has been tampered with. Y'all gotta understand that shit. All this shit has been tampered with. I remember when you could go on YouTube and type in the Anunnaki, when you could type in crystal indigo children, when you could type in motherfucking laws of mind, when you could type in all type of spiritual shit, and actual teachers will come up. Somebody black in their apartment teaching some shit. Now type that shit in now. Fucking History Channel, YouTube pop up, all these mainstream shits. What the fuck y'all know about the Anunnaki and spirituality? Oh, they know about it. They just gonna give us the watered version of shit. I used to be in college watching young Pharaoh videos like a motherfucker. 13 Signs Astrology, Dolo the Pilot Man, Astro Lotta, House of Consciousness. This is what I'm bred with. And right now, mainstream, they putting their hands into all of that shit. All right? Just like when I posted the astrology, before the Super Bowl, they going through the quarterback sun and moon signs. I said, oh my God, son, they gonna really get their hands on everything. And they gonna make it surface level. They're gonna make the shit surface level. They're gonna take away the occult history behind this shit. Make this shit act like this shit is a game, like it's a joke. This shit is not a joke. This shit is a life. This shit is a life science. This shit ain't no goddamn joke, but they're gonna make the collective think it's some light shit. Oh, horoscopes, moon signs. Like, why you think horoscopes has been in the newspaper? It hasn't been in the daily news forever and in your newspaper because they want to spread the consciousness of astrology. No, they just want you to think that's all it's condensed to. How much times do you hear people say, oh, horoscopes, that shit ain't real, this, that, and the third? How the fuck? Just because I'm this and a third, they're gonna just tell me how shit gonna go. You ain't gonna just be believing horoscopes in the newspaper and shit. So this shit reverse psychology. For real. This shit reverse psychology. For real. To be honest with you. So we ain't about to let these motherfuckers catch us slipping. I'll be right back, IG. ain't about to catch us slipping. You feel me? So it's crazy. I know y'all see how they just try to commercialize all the spirituality to make it look like it's not what it really is. This shit is crazy. So all right, there we go. I just want to get this up in the story so I could. All right, yeah. So I want to cover these aspects as far as past life energies that I didn't get to go through earlier this week when I was talking about understanding your purpose with the sun and the houses, right? So off rip, just the houses that your sun is in, right? That's going to say a whole lot about what you're here to pay attention to, gain consciousness, awareness of in this lifetime, all right? So if you just look at, I posted a TikTok, I got a live stream up, so y'all could just visit that earlier this week. But if you just look at the house that your sun is in, look at the things you experience. Look at the things you experience in this house. Look at the things that has been pushing you to express in this house. Look at the times you've had people tell you to express this, to say that, to be seen for this. There's always going to be influence in this house pushing you to express something, all right? So the sun through the houses is very important, and it's simple. It's not something that's so deep. I'm not making you connect a bunch of different degrees and trines. And no, the house that your sun is in, embrace that house. Embrace that house. Sun in the first, embrace your individuality. Sun in the second, embrace your motherfucking self-worth and self-esteem. That shit is going to be tested this lifetime. And that's the thing. All these things are tested because the sun in these houses are naturally going to develop these attributes. So it's like you're developing that attribute. You're being trained. You're being trained through your adolescent stages and shit, but you're going to be tested with this shit to see how much you really been consuming, how much your consciousness has been evolving in this area, you know? So I don't want to go through all of them, but I just posted a TikTok and we got a live stream from earlier this week breaking that down. Now, other things to look at in the chart when we talk about past life energies, all right? The aspects to your moon, guys. The aspects to your moon is very important, all right? The moon rules the Akashic records. It has a connection to the Akashic records, which holds all of our memory. The moon deals with memory overall. All right. The moon deals with the past. The moon deals with that's enough. That's enough. All of that is enough all by itself. By itself. When we're in a state of signing contracts when we're developing our contract for what it is that we're going to experience here, if we're going to have children, if we're going to get married, when you also understand that you signed contracts to suffer as well. You've signed contracts to suffer. Part of suffering is something that goes on in this realm, period. This world, like, there's so much other beautiful, blissful states of beings and frequency vibrations for us to embrace and connect to beyond this realm. You have to understand that. We really living in, I'm not trying to spook nobody because I don't be knowing the levels of spirituality people are at on my page. You know, I know people are been into shit. And I know some people just getting into astrology, you know, and this is their shit. So it be certain things I don't be trying to say to spook people, but in many ways we are in hell. Understand that. In many ways, this is a hell state. This is a low state. All right. So we're going through trials and we signed up to go through trials and tribulations here. Understand that. We signed up for that shit. Okay. But as we're developing as we're developing, making our contract, seeing what we're going to be doing, who we going to be connecting with, who we going to reproduce with, this and the third. When we start picking what planets and shit and the time when we're going to come to manifest certain tools and the alignment that we need in our chart to help us navigate shit, when we're picking our tools, the moon is the first thing you connect, the first thing you're picking. And it ain't more so like, okay, I want to be a Pisces moon sign. No, I want to be a Sagittarius moon sign. It ain't like that. This is all spirit. This is all spiritual. This is all frequency, vibration, and shit. So it's dealing with things that you resonate with as a spirit, your frequency, vibration. Okay. So one, the sign that your moon is in tells you a whole lot about the frequency, vibration your spirit has been resonating with. We could just divide that by element. We don't even need to got the moon in fire, dealing with being a visionary in some type of shape or form, dealing with spreading awareness. Your spirit resonated with being a visionary, spreading awareness, spreading enlightenment, being an example of light or enlightenment, aka something we can look at and gain awareness from, we can learn more from. This is naturally what your spirit resonated with, to be a fire moon sign. All right. Water moon signs. You naturally resonated with connection. Water connects. You naturally resonate with connection, understanding of an environment, understanding of a collective, understanding of a space. You deal with, your spirit resonates with trying to receive. We're trying to receive. This is why the feminine energy is very powerful here. The feminine energy is very powerful here. In higher realms, some of the gods are feminine energies, and the men are more so playing the feminine position that's played here. In many different ways up there. That's a whole nother thing. All right. But anybody that's powerful in this realm, anybody that gains some power or some success in this realm, they utilize some fucking feminine energy. What is feminine energy? Going within your goddamn self. That's what's feminine energy. That's all feminine energy is. Going within yourself. That's it. That's it. Why do you think women have so much goddamn feelings and emotions? Why do you think? They're internal beings. All right? But a man that knows how to go within himself, how to look at his actions and try to understand his actions, trying to learn from his actions, looking at past circumstances to understand self, trying to understand their feelings and emotions and the way they think. That man is going to bring a lot of clarity to himself about what the fuck he's supposed to be doing here. All right? By default. So feminine energy is dealing with going within yourself, being in a receiving and understanding state. That's what this realm is. That's what this earth is. When you were born, you don't go, you go, you receive. As a baby, you're receiving everything as a child. You're receiving your milk, you're receiving your nurture. All right. So if you can understand how to channel that feminine energy in certain circumstances in your life, boy, you will do a whole lot of channeling. You'll do a whole lot of you'll manifest a lot here. But if you always in a masculine state, you always got to express. You always got to be seen. You always got to be heard. You always got to get some shit out. You got to put some shit in the air. Niggas got to see you express some shit. You always got to act on something. You're going to be moving a whole lot, but really moving nowhere, So water moons resonate with this energy. Water moons fucking powerful. Water moons resonate with the natural feminine energy of receiving and understanding, period. All right. By default, if you got moon and water, your spirit in some type of shape or form may have already dealt with healing properties in previous lifetimes, right? Or you may have gained significance or gain awareness, consciousness as a spirit of dealing with emotions on different levels. Now, if you got the moon in air, If you got the moon in air, your spirit resonated with relatability, connectivity, putting things together, being a messenger, spreading the message, connecting. Air connects now. Air sends the message. Air sends the message. So if your moon is in air, you're going to have strong influences for things you want to communicate to the world. You want to relate to the world. You talking to your goddamn self all day, every day. So once you get a chance to actually have an outlet to communicate it to others, it's like, goddamn, this person is just full of messages. This person is just full of insight. This person is just full of, person just real intelligent. But it also comes with the intuition of understanding how to cooperate, how to relate, how to put pieces together, how to connect. As a spirit, we honor individuality. We honor just being that spirit. This is why in certain ancient civilizations, niggas look down on certain forms of relationships and shit, because they in a way they looked at the number 2 as evil. They looked at 2 as evil because that takes you away from being the one. Being the one, you came here by yourself. So anything that you attach to in this realm that starts taking you away from what self is, that shit was looked at as evil. All right. But overall, if you got the moon in air, that is an aspect that you're here to be an example of, to others. Or overall, just from a past life karmic perspective, this is what your moon resonated with. Your moon may have resonated with being the messenger, being able to enlighten or connect with others based off of what consciousness you had. You may have excelled in positions in your previous lifetime, being in positions, having to deal with parties, communities, or individuals, or relationships, partnerships. You may have already excelled in some of these energies to the point, your moon naturally resonated with that air element, right? And then you got the moon in earth. All right. So if you got the moon in earth, the earth is a feminine energy. It does deal with receiving and understanding, but is more so dealing with reality, practicality, stability, structure. Earth is in the present. All right. Earth is stable and it's in the present. So if you have your moon in earth, this is showing that your spirit is resonating more with dealing with reality. Your spirit has somewhat of a understanding of reality versus spirit versus the astral realm. Some moon and earth signs is way too connected to this realm, though. Some moon and sun earth signs spiritually is way too connected to this realm. You've been overdoing it in this realm. You think this is the end all and be all. You think because you got money, you get rich, that you spiritually, what the fuck you do for career ain't got shit to do with spirituality. How much money you make ain't got shit to do with spirituality. Motherfuckers think they get rich. Motherfuckers think they have a year they made $200K and think, oh shit, I'm sanctified. Sit your narrow-minded ass down. That's physical shit. That's physical shit. Where's your spiritual riches? You feel me? Some people out here got all type of physical riches, and I don't want to have the feelings and emotions and thoughts they be having. Shit, I'm good with what I got. If I gotta feel and think like that to have $1 million in the bank, I'm good. I'm straight. Cause you don't be know what the fuck niggas. Cause spirit, you go through this flux. You go through this motherfucking flux within yourself, where it's like, damn, I'm fulfilled in the physical realm. Your naked eye knows that you fulfilled in the physical realm, but your third eye, your spirit is like, motherfucker, we got work to do. This ain't the end all be all. We spiritually unfulfilled like fuck. We need to gain some more experiences somewhere, some more wisdom somewhere. We put in too much value and energy into physical shit. Not saying there's not no wisdom or awareness and consciousness to be developed from manifesting physical riches and shit. It's a whole bunch of wisdom to gain from trying to build a business, a brand, whatever, which I get is when you start putting all your marbles into something from a karmic perspective. Don't get it. Now, some of us do have karma to come into this room and learn how to build. All right. Some of us do have alignments that we have to learn how to get stable. We have to learn how to acknowledge reality of building foundations and stability. Don't get it twisted. Some of us have them type of alignments. If you have Sun opposite Saturn, square Saturn, you are here to learn that this lifetime. You're here to learn structure, building in a timely manner, patience, stability, working with reality. If you have the Moon square Saturn, opposite Saturn, same thing. If you got the sun, moon, sextile, trine, or conjunction Saturn, this is letting you know you brought this gift here of understanding the reality, understanding this physical realm, understanding the significance of structure and stability. If you got Aquarius, Capricorn placements, you know that it comes with that too. All right. But overall, moon and earth individuals, part of their spirit can gravitate towards building, structuring. All right. Not just the physical realm, but that spirit entity is going to like to build. It's going to like to be structured. They may have had previous lifetimes where they excelled as master builders in different civilizations and shit. You got the moon and earth. All right. So y'all got to understand, man, we come from civilizations. We have ancestors. Oh, so many of our spiritual lineage experience this realm. A lot of y'all don't remember how many times y'all been on earth. So it's like, yeah, you may just be doing this and that and a third in your life now, but you gotta understand, like, this whole realm is made to condense how powerful you are. This realm is designed to condense your power. All right. The first human beings that were engineered in this realm, you feel me? The first human beings that were engineered in this realm, they were learning, you know, at first their powers were hidden from them, but then they started learning about their shit. You feel me? So the first human beings came into this realm, you know, created from higher forces, but somewhat ignorant of themselves. And we still deal with that as human being species right now. And that's the first thing. Like, you ain't a human being. You just a being being human out this motherfucker. That's another thing right there. I'm just using human beings so we can all have common terminology right now. All right. You are a being experiencing being a motherfucking human right now. Understand that shit. All right. So that's what we got going on with the elements the moon is in, and now aspects. We get deeper into understanding what our lessons are in this lifetime when we see the squares and oppositions hitting our moon. So if you, once again, you got the moon squaring, opposing Saturn, you have to learn to react and understand structure, time management, patience, building things in a gradual state. You have to understand discipline. You have to understand putting restrictions on yourself. Saturn rules restriction, limitations, boundaries. So in this physical realm, the most successful individuals, quote unquote, when I say successful, I'm talking from a physical realm point of view. Successful, like career and shit, successful. I ain't talking spiritually. I ain't talking that. Those are two different things. All right. And when we talk about successful beings in this realm, we got Rakim, my lord, in the building, man. Y'all make sure you tap into the OG, man. Consistently dropping gems. Consistently. All right? Tap into, bro, if you know what's good for you. And what about moon square, both north node and ascendant? Moon square ascendant, I got sun square ascendant, excuse me. Moon square ascendant has to learn how to personally express their goddamn selves. The ascendant is your personality. The first house rules personal expression. If you got the moon square ascendant, your personality, things that you're personally into, these things may be a little too hidden at times. You don't react to them that much time. You don't give life to these things that much at times. So you could be hella inspired, self-inspired, self-motivated to do things in a personal life, a lot of personal aspirations. But if you got your moon somewhere else squaring it, whatever your moon, wherever sign and house your moon is in, it gets too consumed in that area to react to your personal issues at times. So you here to put, the moon is the heart. So you here to put the heart into your personal aspirations, your personal goals. All right. Don't be compromising your personal goals. Don't be motherfucking putting your personal goals on a back burner for other individuals all the time. You get a little comfortable doing that moon square ascendant. And then moon square, the north node, that's just showing that when it comes to things that you hear to experience with your north node, things that are unfamiliar, that shit triggers your moon too. So all of our north node energies make us feel nervous, scary. It's gonna be unfamiliar. It can make us worry. That's all of the North Node energies. But now you got the moon square your North Node. So AKA every time you get into North Node moments, every time you have to experience something new within that North Node sign and house, your moon gets highly triggered. You could deal with emotional outbursts in these situations. You could be emotionally unstable in these situations a lot of the time. You could feel like the whole world is pushing you to deal with something at times when you got that friction between the moon and the node. Remember, the node represents the moon's energy. So if you have any clashes with the north and south node with your moon, then that dives a little bit deeper into understanding what type of more friction you might deal with in your spiritual path. All right. But that's how I would look at that. I could go more in depth understanding the houses, this, that, and the third. But whatever house you got whatever house you got the north node in, though, you got to start to understand that house a little bit more. You got to start to react to that house a little bit more, pay attention to that house a little bit more. All right. Bro, that video just dropped. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that, man. We just out here doing what we got to do. So, moon aspects. Yeah. So, yeah, we know the moon connects to your memory, Akashic records, all of that. So if you got the moon squaring, opposing something, right? Squaring, opposing something, then this lifetime, now the moon attracts too. So this ain't I don't want y'all to think y'all got to wake up in the morning and okay, Boro said I got moon square Saturn. So I got to wake up today and react more to business structure, doing things with time management. No, you attracting all of this. We've been attracting all of this shit in the family, in our house, in our neighborhood, with bullies in the neighborhood, in school, in college, at work, in our relationships. When your ass go out shopping, when you go to the gym, we attract all this shit everywhere. You don't have to walk. You don't have to step out your crib and try to exercise shit in your chart. And I say that because people ask me this. People will ask me, "Hey, Boro, I want to know how to," and it'll be worded like this, like, "Hey, Boro, I want to know what I could do to tap more into my Mars and Pisces. I want to know what to do to tap more into activate my Neptune in this." It ain't no tapping in you tapped into it the day you was born. The day you was born was the day you tapped into the shit. The day you was born and had that alignment, Neptune, this, that, and the third here, Mars and Pisces here and there, that was the day you tapped into it. It's your alignment. It's your placement. It's you. It's you already. That's like the universe saying, shit, I gotta tap more into my Mercury. Mercury is the universe. Mercury's a part of the universe. So, what you say you want to tap into, you already got it. You have to, what the question you should be asking is, Boro, what are the ways that I subconsciously deal with this energy? Now you're asking something that makes sense. Because all of the energies in your chart, you push them out every day. You attract and experience them every day. It's just that a lot of it is subconscious. Think about it, y'all. Think about this shit. I know everybody here know their big three. You know your Venus, your Mars. How many times did some shit happen in your life and you're like, damn, that was my moon in Capricorn. Damn, that was my sun in Libra. Damn, that was my Venus in Libra. Damn, that was my Mars in Scorpio. Motherfucker come late to work, you ain't gonna be thinking in your heart like, damn, I'm a sun in Libra. They say Libras be late. Nah, it's subconscious. Shit happens. You go through life, you travel through life, you experience things in life. It ain't until your ass start reflecting that you start realizing, like, damn, that was some Libra shit. Damn, everything I was going through in that relationship, man, that was some North Node in the Southern House shit right there. You ain't really gonna be thinking about it in the moment. All of this is subconscious. So you are your energies. You push all these energies out. Ain't nothing to activate. All right. Now, back to moon aspects. Anything squaring opposing the moon, very important. it's different between things squaring or opposing your sun and moon from a karmic perspective, because, all right, yes, the sun is what you're here to gain conscious. I mean, they're both important from a past life perspective, but they're different. Anything squaring or opposing the sun is something that you're going to have to pay more awareness to. You're going to pay attention to, just like the house that you have the sun in. Just like how you have to pay attention to that area, learn that area, embrace that area, take the action oriented in that area. Anything square opposing the sun is the same thing. Sun squaring or opposing your Neptune. You are here to embrace expressing your imagination, taking action into things in your imagination and your creative endeavors, giving life to your art, your music. You know, embrace being a teacher, embrace, you know, consuming yourself and what you like to learn in your belief system. That's what sun opposing square Neptune is. Glam Diva, appreciate the donation. Excuse me, sorry. Appreciate the donation, all right? So, sun square opposing Jupiter. I have this alignment. I have moon square Jupiter. Moon square Jupiter. I keep messing my sun and moon alignments up. All right. Moon square Jupiter. You need to learn how to react to your knowledge and wisdom more. Now, you want to look at the house you have the moon in. The houses you have these planets in is where you're going to be able to pinpoint where these things are going to happen. So it's one thing for me to say you got moon square Jupiter. Yeah, you're going to have to learn to react to your knowledge and wisdom. There's a lot of times life gives you wisdom about certain things, and then right after that, they push you in experiences, and then you don't utilize the shit. You don't apply it. So this alignment shows that you have a life. You come from a life. You come from lifetimes of having knowledge and wisdom about certain things and not applying it, and not utilizing it in reality, not utilizing it to benefit yourself, right? This is sun, moon square opposing, you know, Jupiter, Neptune, and whatnot. Now, the house you have the moon in, the house you have Jupiter in, now you're gonna know, okay, so I got the moon in my motherfucking first house and Jupiter in my fifth house. That's a trine. Excuse me. Jupiter in my fourth house. So I'm going through a lot of experiences with Jupiter in my fourth house. I got knowledge and wisdom. By the way, the house that you have Jupiter in already shows, the sign in the house that you have Jupiter in already shows that you brought knowledge and wisdom from the previous life in that house too. You need to know that too. You know, Jupiter has a lot to do with karma. Saturn has a lot to do with karma. Some planets are very strong on karmic perspectives, and Jupiter is one of them. So the house you have Jupiter in, back in ancient civilization, we would be able to see your Jupiter and know that, like, okay, this motherfucker is just based off your Jupiter. Jupiter in the first house, okay, they need to be doing this, that, and the third. Jupiter in the fourth house, okay, we need to cultivate them to start dealing with healing families and family wounds and traumas. They're probably going to be good to be a family counselor. Jupiter in, you know, the 12th house, this person is a healer. Jupiter in the 8th house, we're going to have this person deal with, you know, people that experience, you know, heavy trauma and shit. So wherever you have Jupiter at, you're going to have a wisdom on how to deal with this area. A lot of the times when you see other people dealing with issues in that area, you're the first person to have some knowledge and wisdom for them. You got Jupiter in the 7th house, your ass been in one relationship. You ain't had sex more than 2 times in your life. But your motherfucking friends is going through some shit in relationships, but you the one that they call. Why they calling you? They got way more relationship experience than you. You got Jupiter in the 7th house. So you have the ability to learn from relation. Wherever Jupiter is at is also a sponge. You have the ability to soak up a lot there. Remember, Jupiter expands. So you don't have to necessarily experience what's going on in that house. You have the ability to learn a lot in that house by default, you know? So look at the sign you have Jupiter in. Mind you, Jupiter stays in the sign for a year. And these are some of the things you have to start looking at. Planets stay in signs for certain amounts of time. So when y'all start looking at the time that y'all chose to incarnate to a realm, you chose to come when Jupiter, the year Jupiter was in this sign. You chose to come the time and date. The moon, Mercury was here. That's for a reason. That is all for a reason. It's all for a reason. All right. I got Jupiter in the 9th house. That's Jupiter's home there. So yeah, a lot of astrologers, teachers, regular teachers have this placement. People that teach, professors, college professors and all that. But we looked at as teachers. So if I was a teacher shit, I kind of come off a little bit as a fool. Jupiter in the 9th house. If you got Jupiter like in home places, and you got Jupiter in the 9th house, the 12th house, the 4th house, Jupiter's exalted in the 4th house. So if you have Jupiter in these houses, or Jupiter in, if you're a part of the Jupiter in Sag generation, Jupiter in Pisces generation, Jupiter in Cancer generation, you have, you know, a heightened form of wisdom in these areas, and people are going to be looking at you to be teaching something. And the moment you look like you don't know what the fuck you talking about, you are a fool. The moment I get up here and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about with spirituality and astrology, it ain't gonna be easy. It ain't gonna be hard for people to poke holes in my aura. It's gonna be too easy. Too easy. You feel me? So you know, that's something to understand with your Jupiter placement. Everybody, I don't care if you got Jupiter in Aries, Virgo, Pisces, I should be able to interview you about that sign, and you should be able to tell me a lot. You got Jupiter in Aries, you should be able to school me a lot on individuality, knowing when to be selfish, knowing when it's wise to be selfish and individual in life. You know, when to do things on your own. If you got Jupiter in Taurus, you should be able to teach me a lot about how to navigate things in the physical realm, how to place my value system in the right area so I can have the proper garden, right? So I can have the proper foundation for things to grow in my life from a physical point of view. Jupiter struggles a little bit in earth signs though, because Jupiter is philosophical and spiritual. So when it starts getting to earth signs, it's like, oh, these niggas always want to condense me down to business and shit, how to make money in the physical realm. Jupiter don't like that shit. Jupiter wants to expand. But you're still going to develop you're still going to go through a lot of experiences dealing with the physical realm, stability, business. All right. Jupiter in Aquarius generation, glam diva. Y'all out here to shift things in the outside realm. A lot of y'all are messengers. A lot of y'all are the ones at your jobs or in a certain community that have a certain light, that have a certain message. Jupiter in Aquarius individuals. Because Aquarius represents the outside realm, it represents the message, it represents the unknown. So if you chose to come in a world with Jupiter and Aquarius, you're going to be pushed into circumstances where you have to communicate this knowledge and wisdom. And a lot of this knowledge and wisdom you got is some unknown shit. Jupiter and Aquarius. A lot of the knowledge and wisdom you got is some shit that your mind had to travel to some other shit to get. Or Jupiter had to manifest some grandparent in your life, a distant, somebody in the outside realm, somebody on social media, YouTube, to teach you some shit to the point that when you start connecting it to other things, it's like, where the fuck did you get that shit from? Jupiter and Aquarius, y'all some little. I told myself I'm gonna stop calling people things little, like your little business, ooh, your little bag. I'm gonna stop doing that. But your little Jupiter and Aquarius. Ooh, look at your little natal chart. Your little alignments. You think you all spiritual, you think you all gifted, huh? Your little moon sign, making contact with your little Chiron. But Jupiter and Aquarius, y'all always go. Jupiter is another energy that it pushes you into experiences and pushes you into school. Jupiter is school. So where life is school. So, but wherever you have Jupiter at, that's like one of your AP classes. Life is school, but where your Jupiter at, AP class. Where North Node at, AP class. Wherever Saturn at, oh shit. Wherever Saturn at is like AP. You a whole junior taking sophomore college courses wherever Saturn at in your chart. And once Saturn return time comes, that's his finals time. Serious finals time, though. You can't cram for this finals. This was 30 years of studying. You ain't about to study. You ain't about to cram 28 years into no 3-year span. All right? So these are your AP classes. When we look at placements in our zodiac, you feel me? Our squares and opposites, these are our AP classes, but the whole chart is school. The whole chart is school. All right. Now, okay, let's do more aspects. Moon, y'all can throw them out in the comments too. Y'all can throw them out. I put Q&A in the title, y'all, because I kind of wanted to freestyle tonight on top of going through some past life energy. So I want to answer as many questions as possible. So y'all could throw some alignments out as I go through these things. All right, but anything with the squaring the moon, understand this is heavy. This is heavy karmic energy that you have to embrace this lifetime. All right. When we talk about moon squares and opposites. Moon square opposite the sun. Moon square opposite your sun. And when I said throw out alignments, y'all, I more so meant alignments that correlate with what I'm talking about. So if I'm talking about moon square this, sun opposite that, throw me a square opposite. Don't just throw me your shit like, all right, boy, Aries, Sun, Moon, Virgo, and Venus, and motherfucking Mars and Pisces. What that mean? No, don't worry, babe. He gonna answer. He good. Wait, just let him get to the question. He good. He gonna answer it. Come on, y'all. All right. So that's what we got going on with the moon. Moon aspects. Okay, moon. Yeah, moon square opposite the sun. You wishy-washy like shit. You are wishy-washy like shit. Too much aspects of yourself is in different places. All right. So we got the sun that represents your consciousness. We got the moon represents how you deal with your emotions. Now we know the sun and moon have a significant relationship. They have different. All the planets in the zodiac have different relationships from each other. So when we looking at the relationship the sun and moon have, we know how significant that relationship is. We know that the sun is out all day getting busy, bringing home meat to put on the motherfucking table. And we know the moon is the understanding one, the nurturing one. We know when the sun come home from working all day, every day, you feel me? And we setting up the table and everything. The moon knows to tell the kids, don't be taking the big piece of chicken. That's your father's piece of chicken. The moon knows how to revitalize the sun when he comes home. The moon reflects the sun. What they say, it ain't a home till you got a mother in there or something like that. Y'all know I be fucking up phrases and shit, but a mother makes a home. It's just a house with a son in there or some shit. It's just a house with a father in that mother. That shit true. Shit is true. Feel me? So when we look at that relationship between the moon and the sun, if your moon, you got to know the relationship between your moon and the sun in the chart. You got to know that relationship. You got to know that relationship. You might have a neutral relationship. They might not be making contact with each other. You know, maybe your sun is in Pisces and your moon is in motherfucking, your moon is in Aquarius. Maybe they're neighbors. So it ain't no real slight friction or anything, you feel me? They all right. But when we get into squares and opposites between the sun and the moon, when you try to act, when you try to take action on something or express something, your emotions is in a different place. When you are emotionally called to react to something or connect to something, your sun is in another place. Your actions are in another place. All right. I have sun square moon. So this is why our sun square moon, we could develop wishy-washy tendencies. We could be stagnant. We could be a little extreme. So we could say things we don't mean and then hold in the things we meant to say. So we could be all over the place, sun square moon. All right. If you have the sun square moon, you have your sun and moon in the same modality. So your sun and moon are both in cardinal signs, both in fixed signs, both in mutable signs, or both in both in cardinal, fixed, and mutable signs. All right, so that's what you got going on with the sun and the square. Every time your moon set, because remember, the moon sends commands to the sun. So every time the moon needs your sun to do something, your sun has a whole nother awareness, and don't fuck with that shit. So this is the lifetime for you to get your sun and moon together. So I use myself for an example. Some of y'all may heard me use myself for an example. I got my sun in Libra, my moon is in Capricorn. So what makes me comfortable? Capricorn-like things, right? Business, structure, stability, foundation, dealing with professionalism, career, all of that, right? Moon and Capricorn shit. Then, but what is my sun in Libra doing? It's losing its mind in relationships, communicating with others, conversation. It kind of wants love. It kind of wants to experience intimacy. Capricorn don't really give a fuck about all of that shit unless it could use all the people Libra knows to help build. That's what I have to do in this lifetime. I have to learn to make that Libra sun work for my moon. So when my moon sends out commands with Capricorn shit it likes to do, I have to be able to be like, all right, sun in Libra, you got to learn to use your communication skills for business right now. You got to learn to use your people skills dealing with people right now for business right now. You got to learn to use your analysis to whether it's your charm, whether it's your communication, whether it's how you express yourself, how you deal with people, how you relate to people. All of that has to be supporting Capricorn things. All right. So, but on the regular, if I don't go out my way to make sure they're together, that Libra sun will be pissing off my Cap moon all day. It'll be getting lost in conversations. It'll be scrolling on IG. It'll be I'll know I have something to do at 3 o'clock. Somebody calls me at 2:30 and I keep talking to them instead of letting them know, like, yo, bro, I actually got to get ready for this at 3 o'clock. So this is why I'll be late a lot of places and shit. Because my Capricorn structure, but Libra be, man, fuck all that structure shit. Just flow a little bit, bro. Just have a conversation. You feel me? So this is how you need to look at if you have this alignment, sun square moon, this is what's going on. Your moon has things it wants to establish and your sun is on a different page. You need to learn in this lifetime how to make that sun support that moon. You might have the sun and moon in fixed signs. Maybe you a Leo, sun, Scorpio, moon. Now I ain't gonna lie, that alignment makes for a creative motherfucker. If you got your sun and moon like in Leo and Scorpio shit, that makes for one creative. Lil Uzi got that placement. Young Thug got that placement. Somebody else I know got that fucking placement. Leo, sun, Scorpio, moon. But we already y'all should be able to break that one down. So somebody's moon is in Scorpio. Their emotions likes to stay in the dark. Their feelings and their thoughts likes to stay in the dark. They're really going to circulate these things with people they have intimate type relationships with. They're not going to be prone to the spotlight. They're going to hate when people push them into the spotlight and push them to have to express their inner feelings and emotions. They're going to be more reserved individuals. Scorpio moon. But this motherfucker got a Leo sun. So they're going to go through clashes within themselves and what to put in the light, what not to put in the light. They could put some really dark shit in the light. They could put some really misunderstanding shit in the light. How misunderstood is Young Thug? I don't know if misunderstood is the word. But when he first came into the game and started gaining popularity, matter of fact, no, misunderstood is a good word. Little Uzi, Young Thug, those some, I guess they some misunderstood motherfuckers. I guess they are. I'm gonna just say different. They different. All right. They just different. But yeah, you got Leo and Scorpio up in your big three and shit. Like, you're gonna go through that. You're gonna go through expressing your shit, expressing yourself at times, and your expression a little too heavy. It was a little too heavy for us. Like, you the type to start bringing up all type of conscious shit in the wrong time, wrong place. Niggas like, shit. Motherfuckers is bringing the vibe down. They going out their way to put this shit in the light. Like, you know, so you got to know who you be around with them type of energies. You got to have a certain circle with them type of energies. You feel me? You got to have a certain circle, but it makes for some shit and creativity. It makes for Scorpios is one of the most underrated creative constellations in the world. All right. Like Yogi, they probably do. I wouldn't be surprised. I just remember they both had that sun moon alignment, and I know how close they are. Right? They're real close. They had that picture a few ago when they were like looking mad feminine and whatnot. It had ankle bracelets that went viral. I'm like, look at these Leo, Sun, Scorpio, Moon head ass niggas right here. You feel me? Every time they do put themselves in the light, it's prone to be some ape house shit, something different, something deep, something dark, something not regular, something individual. Scorpio is one of the, if not top 3 most individual signs in the zodiac. You know? So when Young Thug and Uzi express themselves, who do they sound like? They don't sound like nobody but they goddamn selves. Young Thug and Uzi got 2 individual ass, you know, if somebody wanted to do impressions and whatnot, like, ain't really nobody else to compare them to like that. So yeah. And if you have Leo, Sun, Scorpio, Moon alignments, you're the one that's gonna like to put a lot of dark shit in the light. But that's what you're learning to do, though. That's what you're learning to do, though. If you have like Leo, Scorpio in your shit, you are learning how to integrate light and dark, and that's not easy. It's not easy because you get condemned for it. You have to take risks doing that shit. You are, you make sacrifices doing that shit. You know, but that's what we sign up for. This is our contract, y'all. We put these squares in opposition. We chose to come down with this shit because we have the capability to get these planets together if they're squaring or opposing each other. We have the ability to get these planets together, and we have the ability to manifest beautiful things when we have these planets come together. And this is not something, when I say come together, this is not like you just You finally bring them together and forever they're like that. No, there's instances in our life. On Monday, they might be clashing like heavy. On Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you might have them bitches gelling. So this is over time with our experience. This is over time as we learn ourselves, right? But this is how these moon aspects play out, y'all. Anything squaring or opposing this moon is something in the previous life you have to embrace understanding and reacting to. All right. Moon square sun. Once again, you have to learn to react and express yourself some more, period. Some more, period. Your expression may be too, you may neglect your expression too much. You don't let yourself be seen. Like, say that shit with your chest. All right. Damn. Now, I condensed it down to moon aspects, but overall squares and opposites in the chart, period, y'all. It's just that the squares and opposites to your moon and sun are very, very important. All right, they're very, very important. All right, but all squares and opposites in your chart it's some real shit. It's some real shit. Okay. All right. So, like, a lot of us is part of the Saturn and Aquarius generation, right? A lot of us is a part of the Saturn and Aquarius generation and the Pluto and Scorpio generation. Those energies were squaring each other. Those are not inner planets. They're generational planets. So Saturn stays in the sign for what, 3 years, couple of years or whatnot. Pluto stays in the sign for a while. But as a generation, we're experiencing that motherfucking lesson. As a generation. You know? If you part of the Saturn and Aquarius generation, you got Pluto and Scorpio, you came down here to embrace being the different one in society. You're the one that embraced signing up for all type of deep-ass transformative experiences in your life, possibly some of them at a young age, depending on where Pluto and Scorpio is at in your chart. And now you signed up for that shit to put you in a position where those transformations, that intensity you experienced behind the scenes in Pluto and Scorpio that some people may not even know about, that you experienced that dark shit, that starts to make contact with Saturn and Aquarius, aka you start to feel compelled to communicate that to the public environment, to community, because you feel like that's going to help them bring more stability and structure. This is why we have so much people in the Pluto and Scorpio generation speaking out against things dealing with sexual exchanging sexual energies. This is why we have a lot of people in the Pluto Scorpio generation, Saturn Aquarius generation speaking out on things dealing with sex and healing and motherfucking porn and motherfucking things that are attacking the root sacral chakras of motherfuckers in this realm. These people embrace learning about sex and, sexual education and transmutation and feel compelled to some way circulate that in the outside realm. Some of these individuals are making brands, products, to help people, in the outside realm. So everything with Saturn and Aquarius got to do with helping build more structure and changing society. You got Saturn and Aquarius, you are being compelled to change a lot of shit in society, and it could be. Don't underestimate how your influence does it. Don't underestimate your vegan brand. Don't underestimate, your tarot card brand. You changing some shit right now. You bringing something into the 11th house. Hone that. Honor that. You feel like you're being called to do something, walk in them shoes. All right? Now, Glam Diva, I'm glad you asked that question, Pluto square your nodes, because that's the next thing I have on my list. Alignments to your nodes. Alignments to your nodes going to tell us a whole lot about your past life. And Pluto and Scorpio it's not all about sex. It's not all of it, but I highlight that because there's a lot of things that's becoming surface level about the spiritual aspect to sex that wasn't hitting the public environment before we fucking came here. Okay? There's a lot of shit that motherfuckers could have been teaching about sex and all that shit before we even came here. So we had to experience the trials of it, and become the teachers for this shit. Why you think this motherfucker's 25 years old, 24 years old? They talking about celibacy. They know what contract they signed. They know what contract they signed. You feel me? If you got Scorpio energies, period, like, you just know you ain't come here to, like, just float around and experience. I'm gonna say that much. You got Scorpio placements, 8th house placements. You knew you was gonna come down here and deal with the depth of this realm. You knew you was gonna deal with intense energies. You knew you signed up to deal with dark transformative situations, and you also knew coming into this realm you were gonna have the capabilities to use all that shit for power. You knew you was gonna be able to experience all that, and you was just probably as a spirit like, damn, I hope when I experience all this shit, I remember I have the strength and will to understand that I was supposed to experience all this dark transformative shit to learn how to transmute it, to learn how to be the example to other people, how to go through dark transformative shit and persevere through it. I just hope I remember that part. That's what you was hoping for. But understand that, like, you know, you signed up for that shit for a reason. So when we look at alignments to the nodes, positive alignments to the south node show things that you brought in a past life that are going to be things that you naturally could get with, things that you may have been really good with in your past life. So the south node is always going to be automatically opposite to the north node, right? North node, south node represent axis of the moon. One thing you have to remember about the nodes, these are not physical, like we can't put a telescope on the node. This is a detection point. This is more of a point than a planet, than a body, a celestial body. So it's like directions. It's giving us a direction. So when we look at the south node is what we brought here, what we're what we're comfortable with, what we're ready, things we've experienced in a past life or whatnot. It's easy for us to bring it here. So if you have a planet that's sextiling, trining your south node, that's letting you know you move with that planet pretty well. You have a strong intuition with that planet. Even if it's dealing with some more squares and oppositions, it's harmoniously hitting your north node, your south node. You have a natural grasp on that energy. So if your south node is in Pisces, if your south node is 5 degrees Pisces, but your Mercury is 5 degrees Scorpio, it's 6 degrees Cancer, Mercury is hitting your south node in a harmonious alignment. So you may have brought abilities to heal through communication. You may have some gifted properties, some gifted communication styles. You know, you make people feel heard, you make people feel, seen. Some people could say the same thing to 5 different people in a week and may not feel like everybody digested. May feel like only one person digested it the right way. You could tell when you communicating to somebody and you like, especially if you're air sign, but you could tell when you communicating to somebody and you like, yeah, this motherfucker head is in a different place. I'm gonna just keep acting like I know they don't give a fuck. I'm gonna just keep acting like I think, I'm gonna act like they listening, but I know they don't give a fuck. So when people are in a space to receive you or not. So when it comes into that motherfucking you got Mercury in water and this around the same degree, you got your south node in water. Then when it comes to how you communicate, think about things, you're able to channel things mentally a different way. You're able to bring understanding, a lot of understanding and clarity to yourself, especially from a deja vu perspective. So when you pick up on a certain feeling or influence or whatnot, the way you think about it, it can help you recollect past life things, to understand the present situation. You do this with any planet. You got the sun. If you got the sun, you feel me, sextile in your south node, you're going to be more proud and impulsive and action oriented to express or be seen for the things that you mastered in the past life. Right? So let's say you got the south node in Gemini. South node in Gemini, right? And your sun is in Aries, right? South node is 10 degrees Gemini. Your sun is 10 degrees Aries. They're perfectly sextiling each other. This person's the south node in Gemini deals with, you came from a past life dealing with in some type of shape or form, embracing a whole bunch of interaction, social interaction, communication, relationships. You may have been the example of how to think about things from a dual perspective. You are very flexible dealing with, your environment. You may have had a lot of notoriety within your environment, within your familiar surroundings. You may have been, held to a prestige state in your familiar surroundings. So this is why you got South Node in Gemini, some shit. This is why you might manifest situations where people always come to you for information. People feel like you know the information for certain things. People feel like you know how to find information for certain things. People look at you as somebody that understands, how to mentally process things, or you may easily fall into situations where you easily could gel with people and environments. It ain't nothing for you to be amongst an environment, to go in a party, to go to an event and be around other people. That's all day, every day, South Node in Gemini, and you can have no air energies. Or you got South Node in motherfucking Gemini, you gonna know how to adapt. You were doing this in your previous life. Even if you got energies that make it a little comfortable for you to adapt with other individuals in this lifetime, and that South Node in Gemini gonna find it. So if this person has Sun in Aries and is harmoniously hitting their South Node, now when it comes to expressing themselves, for one, they're gonna have a natural access to all the wisdom that comes, all the experience that comes with their South Node in Gemini. So when they get into Aries-like things, dealing with their passions, dealing with their individual aspirations, dealing with self-expression, dealing with the things they want to individually establish in their life, they can pull from their South Node easy. It's easy access. They can see things from their South Node. More deja vu energies, more in tune with things that they experienced in the past, like to understand with relationships. So the Sun in Aries is thinking about things from an individual point of view, but when it jumps into some shit that the Aries energy has a desire for, and then there's energies that it could access its node in Gemini to utilize. So let's say an Aries wants to do something individual, and then something comes into play where they realize other individuals can play a part. Their South Node in Gemini all day, they're going to be able to access that energy to correlate it with their Sun. It's just you using what you brought from the past life in a more smoother way, in an easier way. You're not going out your way to access something that you brought here already. Remember, the South Node energy is what you brought here already by default. So y'all want to look at y'all South Node alignments. Y'all know I deal with Astro Theme. So Astro Theme automatic, you have to put in, like right here, y'all see where it says on the side, your true North Node, me North Node. You'd have to click on some of these things for the South Node to pop up. But, off rip, just remember the South Node is always opposite this. It's always opposite this North Node. All right. The North Node is 24 degrees Taurus right now. The South Node is 24 degrees Scorpio. All right. So alignments to the South Node is very important. You want to see what energies is hitting your South Node. So AKA that person that has a South Node in Gemini and that Sun in Aries, that sextile in it, making harmonious contact with it, whatever house that Sun is Aries is in, it's going to be able to access that energy for that area. It's going to be able to access them past life gifts for that area. Now, if you got squares and opposites to your South Node, these are things that get in the way or clash with your past life energies. These are things that clash with what makes you comfortable, So back to South Node in Gemini. What squares Gemini? Pisces. So if you have motherfucking South Node in Gemini, but you got a Venus in Pisces. Now, every time, you feel me, they squaring each other. So when you deal with your Venus in Pisces, when you're trying to value something that your imagination is invested in, when you're dealing with Venus and Pisces, when you're dealing with your love language, your relationships, the people, places, and things you love in some type of shape or form, that South Node in Gemini, your past life energy starts to clash with that shit. So Pisces is about connection, Gemini is about connection too, but in the air sense. And we know Gemini is mutable, so it'll connect with everybody. So sometimes you're trying to get settled and concentrated into a situation with your value system in Venus and Pisces, but because it's making this contact with your South Node in Gemini, you may start paying attention to different relationships. You might start paying attention to different individuals when you're trying to just deal with this individual. It's hard for you to keep your value system stable because your past life, you was used to moving around with different individuals, different relationships, being flexible amongst certain things. So that energy, that unstable like energy may start triggering your Venus and Pisces when it's time to connect, when it's time to concentrate on this one person, place, or thing that you value. Gemini and South Node and Gemini got you paying attention to all different type of details and shit. It's like, focus, this is what you love. Focus on her. Just focus on her. That South Node and Gemini got you thinking about the potential side joint, this joint at work. This is right here. It's right here, Venus and Pisces. Leave South Node and Gemini alone. So sometimes what we mastered in the past life it brings friction with shit. All right. So this is why we want to know the trines and sextiles and conjunctions, aka the planets that are harmonizing with our past life energies. And then we want to know, the squares, oppositions, so we know what's clashing with this shit. All right. So that's what we got going on there with the South Node alignments. And then we do the same thing with the North Node. If the North Node is what we're here to experience and what we're here to learn, if we have things that's harmonizing with the North Node, aka conjunct, sextile, or trine, these are going to be planets that naturally help us with our North Node. All right. North Node in Gemini. All right. If somebody got the South Node, we use Gemini already. North Node in motherfucking Virgo. All right. And somebody got their sun in Scorpio. So North Node in Virgo has to embrace wellness, has to embrace, regiment, has to embrace structuring their dreams and imagination, have to embrace putting the plan and the blueprint together and not trying to be so up in the air with a South Node in Pisces floating. No, get structured and detail oriented with the plan you want to execute with your creative endeavors in your dreams. So you got to learn how to be structured with the North Node in Virgo. But if your sun is in Scorpio, this person going to have the awareness to be real determined to do that shit with North Node. And they're going to see the significance. This is the sun. So they're going to see the significance on dialing down on that lesson. They're harmoniously touching each other. So things making harmonious contact with your North Node are going to be things that support what you're supposed to be doing this lifetime with your North Node, what you're supposed to experience and bring expansion to. All right. I'll be right back, IG. So, anything clashing with that South Node, anything clashing with the South Node energy square, opposite, they may get in the way. May get in the way of some of the shit you want to do. Anything clashing anything clashing with the motherfucking North Node is gonna add more friction. So we got the positive to it. We got the conjunctions. I mean, we got the see. That's what I'm trying to get for trying to do two things at once. So let me shut the fuck up and I'm over here mumbling. I'm trying to read and talk. Yeah, you really brought some gifts here. Geminis could do that shit though. That's fucked up. I got a Gemini South Node. I should be able to do that shit. I should be able to read and talk at the same time. I actually do have a Gemini South Node. Geminis will be motherfucking listening to what you're saying to them in a conversation, but at the same time they develop and they reply. That's why they don't be no space. That's why there don't be no space when the Gemini after you say something to the Gemini. Reply like that. They was constructing that whole shit the whole time you was talking. And it don't mean they wasn't listening. They just know how to talk in their head and listen at the same time. Oh shit, yeah, I love Gemini, son. So motherfucking crafty mentally, but so yes, that's positive energies. Planets harmoniously aligning with your North Node is gonna support your spiritual journey and things you're here to experience. Now, if you got the motherfucking something clashing with the North Node, it's gonna bring friction towards your spiritual journey. These are things that every time you deal with them, some of them energies actually feel nervous to deal with at times. So you got the Venus in Libra, motherfucking North Node in Cancer. So that's a square. So your North Node in Cancer is here to embrace emotional stability, issues in the home, learning about developing emotional intelligence. Is gonna push you into situations sometimes with the North Node in Cancer where you gotta heal things with the mother, heal things with the parents, right? So if you got Venus in Libra, a lot of the times when you get into dating, you get into connecting with others, you feel me, you relating with others, some of that North Node and Cancer shit start affecting your shit. Maybe the issues and traumas that you develop not having a connection with your mom or your parents with the North Node Cancer, that should start trickling into your motherfucking relationship. But what do we know about squares and oppositions? They all have the ability to start complementing each other and helping each other. So if I had North Node in Cancer, knowing I got to heal shit within the home environment, and I know my relationship with my mom may not be that tight in this lifetime, because sometimes North Node in Cancer, they really don't be having a real healthy relationship with the mother in their life. If I develop shit, wounds from that shit, traumas from that shit, and I got Venus in Libra, that shit gonna come into my relationships. But that whole square triggers me to fix that though. So when I hold on. I hope they can hear me on IG. But it's doing. I think my sound went off. Love you too. I love all my Gemini risings. All right. Okay, I think y'all can hear me now. So where was I at? So yeah. So let's say I have that Venus, right? My Venus, my love language is in Libra, but it's squaring the North Node in Cancer. So that means now that whole situation is what's gonna help me deal with that shit. My relationships with my Venus in Libra, because it's making contact with the North Node, me having issues with my mom and shit, issues in the home environment, I actually use my relationships to bring awareness to that. Now I could deal with this shit. Now I can acknowledge my wounds. Remember, squares and opposites, they attract. They're going to attract each other. They're going to clash. We want them to complement each other when they clash. Especially opposites. Opposites attract hard. They attract intensely. All right? So this is how we look at alignments to that South and North Node. All right? Very important. Squares and oppositions to the South Node are things that clash with your past life gifts. Trines and sextiles, conjunctions, aka harmonious alignments to the South Node, support your past life gifts. Go to the North Node. Planets in your chart squaring or opposing the North Node, right? These are things that add more friction into what you're here to learn with your North Node. Planets sextiling, trining the North Node, conjunct the North Node. These things support your spiritual journey. When you're dealing with that thing that you're nervous with, you don't really got spiritual experience with, and you're here to learn, that planet is going to help to activate how you different ways you could, conquer that motherfucker. All right. So we got the North Node alignments. Now degrees. I posted something on my Patreon last night breaking down degrees from a degree theory from an infamous astrologer, Nikola Stojanovic. All right, he had to develop the degree theory, and most of y'all seen astrologers use it. This is when we say Aries is the first degree. This person has a sun at 12 degrees. It's a Pisces degree. All right, so I dropped a video breaking that down from a surface level, but when we look at, degrees show us a whole lot dealing with spiritual, what your spiritual age and experience is. Degrees are temperatures. That's all y'all need to look at them at. The same way when we look at them in the zodiac. All right, we know 75 degrees outside. We know it's all right. I don't think you need that hoodie. You type of good t-shirt weather. You feel me? It's high temperature. All right. So same thing with the constellations. So we look at 30 degrees or 29 degrees. That ending 29 degrees really 30 degrees, right? Because 0 degrees really 1 degree. But that's how we look at it, right? So them 30 degrees is different temperature for all them degrees. It's a different temperature. So when we get into the cusp degrees with that planet, it'll let you know specifically, like everything is spiritually designed. Everything is perfectly designed when we look at the chart. So there's many different components that show different things, but just looking at the planets, looking at the degrees of your planets, that's showing you a lot about the experience you have with that energy. So once again, you have planets that's at 0 degrees, new beginnings. These is new starts with that energy. New beginnings, you may have mastered the energy, you may have mastered something or karmically completed something with that energy in a previous lifetime. So you have Venus at 0 degrees. It may have been some energies dealing with soul ties, relationship issues you may have been dealing with repetitively that you've somewhat conquered that. So you got a new slate, new 0 degrees Venus. New experiences with love now. We could actually attract love now, maybe. We have a clear slate where I don't have to fucking break a soul tie to manifest a healthy relationship this lifetime. I don't got no old love karma and shit. All right. Now, if a planet is 1 or 2 degrees, I personally, now a lot of this shit is my personal shit too, y'all. So I'm just letting y'all know. All right. But this should come from studying. This should come from studying, spirit, personal experiences. I ain't gonna lead y'all astray. And when we look at them 1 and 2 degrees, these are things you may have started in the previous lifetime, but it's still early. It's still a fresh stage, right? May have started your spiritual path, your true spiritual journey, previous lifetime, but a couple of years after you started, you transitioned. So maybe you incarnate with a certain alignment at them early degrees to let you know, all right, we picking up our spiritual path, but we back early with it though. We early stages with it, and you see, you'll know how much you brought with certain energies depending on your understanding of things. So like. When it comes to spirituality, astrology, numerology, understanding that you are experiencing, if these were easy concepts for you to grasp, like if you didn't have to beat yourself up in the head to understand these things, like these things kind of resonated with you well, like, yeah, I get it. We're just in the bodies. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, there's no such thing as heaven and hell. Those are just frequency vibrations. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. In astrology, yeah, astrology is the solar system. So if we incarnated, aren't we a part of the solar system? So yeah, astrology, that makes sense. If all of that shit that wasn't hard for you to grasp, this ain't your first time doing this. This ain't your first time doing this. You picking back the fuck up where you left off last lifetime. We here to expand some more. Shit, if anything, we reincarnated with more responsibility because we have certain awareness of shit. So that's why we have to be the person in our families being a black sheep telling them to treat their diet better. This is why we got to teach this, teach that. It come with more responsibility because we actually expanded in the previous lifetime. But that's what any planet y'all could look at. The degrees is the temperature of an energy, but when we get in them cusp degrees, 0, 29, that could tell us a lot about them karmically. Now, if you have a planet that's 28, 29, understand you're going to be experiencing some things that have to come to an end, that have to come to a conclusion, a completion this lifetime, especially 29 degrees. That's why 29 degrees is we look at that as the critical degree, right? We look at that as such a significant, powerful degree because in my perspective, it's the most elder degree. So it's the most wisest degree out of all the experiences you could go through in a constellation. It has the most wisdom. It has the most insight. All right. This also is showing me if I see 29 degrees in your chart, I'm like, wow, you may have went through a journey with these energies. You may have already went through a journey in these energies. This is why you have certain decisions you have to make in this lifetime. Strong, powerful decisions you may have to make as to how you're going to govern this energy, how you're going to dictate the energy. You got to control what attention and power you gain from that energy. And you got to understand what shit is expired with this energy. This lifetime is to complete things with this energy. It's not so much to, just bask in it. So that's something to understand with 28, 29 degrees. But 29 degrees is really like to understand this. 28, you working there. You making your way there. And, we this is when we get into now perfections. And this is when we get into progressions, right? Right? Some of you guys were born with late degrees, but from a progression point of view, you up in there and you signed now. So we could break that down how you transform in this experience, right? From that perspective. So that's what we got going on with that. That's what we got going on with the degree portion. You feel me? I'm a 28 degree sun. All right. So I already understand karmically how I'm making my transition in a certain area with how I express myself. It ain't no motherfucking surprise why I'm using my sun in late degrees Libra and picking up Scorpio energy to express and be seen for occult-like things. I'm using my sun in Libra to communicate occult-like shit. This was not picked up in this lifetime. This has been generated. I'm just embracing actually circulating this shit this lifetime. That's all. So this is how we want to look at them, 28, 29 degrees. Understand you got some wisdom built up with that motherfucker. You got to know how to pinpoint that shit. You got 28, 29 degree placements and people are giving you certain insight. People are giving you certain praise almost in certain areas of your life, because we see that aura with that energy. We pick up on that insight. Everything is fucking energy. Everything is energy, y'all. Y'all ever walk outside? Y'all ever walk outside mad late? Or let's say you're somewhere where there's nobody there. Maybe it's mad late, it's mad dark. And you could be across the street from something. And somebody else is across the street. Let's say they come out their car, you come out the car. They may have not been in your vision, but something will make you look back. And you'll just see somebody coming out their car at 3 o'clock in the morning. What the fuck made you pick up on that? That is the energy, is another force field. That person wasn't in your vision. It's 3:30 a.m. in the Bronx, New York. Ain't nobody outside but fiends, crackheads, drug dealers, scammers, and bammers. That's the only people outside right now. But y'all know what I mean, right? You just be walking or some shit. You just look to your right, or somebody else was doing something over there. It's like, oh shit. Ain't nothing to say, hey, look at me. Ain't nothing to say that. You just picked up on the force field. You picked up on some energy. You ever have somebody surprise you, sneak up on you, and you turn around right before they surprise you? You picked up on energy. So I don't know why this is hard to understand, that we deal with this in the physical. Like, that's just what it is. This whole world is energy. That's all. You have to be conscious of where you direct your energy, where you project your energy, how you harness your energy, how you look at your energy, how you perceive your energy, how you demonstrate your energy, how you express your energy, right? So this is what we're looking at from the degree points of view. So I want y'all to understand that in these houses, you brought some wisdom here, step into them shoes, you signed contracts to be responsible with this energy. You have the wisdom to understand how to dictate this energy. If you have planets at 28, 29 degrees, these are regardless of the sign in the house, this is going to be a planet that you have wisdom with. You already have wisdom with it. Period. You know? So, that's important to understand. And that's not to make 0 and 1 and 2 degrees look bad at all. There's certain cons, there's certain pros that a child has in comparison to an elder. So an elder may be on that motherfucking, maybe needing to use that motherfucker to walk. We might have to crush up the pills in the applesauce, right? But it's light and dark side to everything, pros and cons to everything. But they got that wisdom. They got that motherfucking wisdom and insight. Now a child is ignorant, don't know shit, burns its hands. But guess what? The baby took initiative though to find some shit out. The baby was hungry to experience, hungry to learn. May have got burnt a couple times, but the baby is lively in that sense. The baby is raw in that sense, So a lot of people with planets at 1, 2 degrees, 0 degrees, they can be very charismatic with this energy. They can be very charismatic. They can be very young and youthful with this energy, inspiring with this energy. So it's not to be looked at as just ignorant, don't know shit or whatnot. They just gonna have they slips and they stumbles because they're young with the energy. That's all. That's all. Don't mean it's not gifted though. There's all type of children don't know how to speak a word out the English language and they doing gifted shit already. You gotta know how to pick this up. All right. So that's what we got going on, y'all. All right, we just went 2 hours strong. I just want to highlight on more past life energies in the chart. If you're just getting on here on IG Live, we got the whole 2-hour live stream on YouTube. Thank you for everybody for tuning in, because you could have been just diving into some. You could have just been diving into some real intimate, romantic Pisces energies this Friday. Now I know everybody want to cuddle right now. We got the moon in Cancer. Got the sun in Pisces. Everybody just want to Netflix and chill right now. I know. Some of y'all laid up right now. Some of y'all was texting Bay like, all right, hold on. I think he's going to finish this live stream in a couple of minutes. Matter of fact, I'm going to just get dressed. I'm going to start getting dressed now. You want something to eat? You hungry? You ate already? All right, but I'm going to still get you something. What you want? Some of y'all was getting ready to link up during the live. So, I know all this goddamn water in the air, all this damn Cancerian energy in the solar system, all this 4 planets in Pisces, and don't nobody want to Netflix and chill. Don't nobody want to get a little cuddle in. I'm a Libra. I ain't gonna front. I like me a little cuddle, a little something. Niggas be out here acting like they too hard. See, I'm a grown ass man. I know myself. I don't give a fuck. Like, Niggas be trying to say all type of shit, project themselves all different type of ways, this and that, to come off all different type of ways. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I am me. I know myself. Like, kissing, cuddling, I like all that shit. I like all that shit. I'm an affectionate ass nigga. I like all that shit. Niggas be acting like they too hard to kiss a motherfucker. Act like they too hard to cuddle. Motherfucker, if you don't wiggle your shit over here, fuck wrong with you? All this goddamn space in the bed. I should not be able to put my arm down and go down the motherfucker. My shit should run right into a crack. My shit should run right into some thigh. All right? So if you're connecting tonight, do it wisely, y'all. I know the intimacy be having us do a lot of crazy shit. Yeah, these energies will have you, these hit up X-Bay energies. These energies is, I don't give a fuck that we just got into the craziest argument of our lives yesterday and we still ain't found a solution for it. Just come over. I just want to feel you. It's that type of energy. I know. All right. So y'all be wise out here. Shout out to Golden Confucius I don't know how long Golden Confucius has been in here, but I got to hit one of those every time she's in here, man. All right. Faithfully living. Okay. Peace, boy. I didn't know you were on here. Just sent you a DM. All right. I'm going to tap into that. All right. Okay. All right. So sending love, y'all. All right. Let's remember, we here to understand who the fuck we is. Don't forget, y'all are gods, y'all goddesses. We just be having a hard fucking time remembering that shit. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's why every time your back was against the wall, that's why every time you dealt with heavy pressure in your life, you pulled some shit out of your ass you ain't know you had. So if you was able to pull that out your ass, imagine what else is there waiting for you to be discovered, right? But sometimes we wait till life pushes us in circumstances to get that shit. We ain't doing that shit here. We circulating these gems off the rip. Let everybody else catch the fuck up. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Y'all already know the vibes. Enjoy y'all evening. Enjoy y'all night, man. I'm gonna tap in with y'all tomorrow, y'all. Peace.